Welcome to Isis in the Bible, the Winter Gathering, week number 2, Ann-ounce-ment. The question for today was, what announcement are you waiting for? Had some fantastic responses, and a lot centered around what are you waiting for, and you shouldn't be waiting. When we edit the video, we'll add the responses. The poles are shifting. Can you feel it? If you look around you, what do you see? A whole lot of change is happening. Remember, it's your heart that is being tested. So what's happening in the sky? Well, we know that the pole shift is upon us, and that comes from Eris, right? She goes once around that zodiac every 558 years, and she's now back here. Remember, and she just did the Phoenix Rising, and then she stepped on the snake. So I just wanted to remind you that we posted this in one of our last videos, and that was her journey. As you can see, she's sitting here around the 27, 28 degree Pisces back in 2016, and back and forth, retrograde motions, right? And then for the first time in June of 2019, this is when we started telling us that we're going through a Corona chakra cleanse, right? Back in 2019. And then back and forth. And then January 11th, right before the Great Conjunction, right? The weighing of the heart ceremony played out in the sky, right? Back and forth. And then, of course, we did the Phoenix Rising. And then right now, today, she's going direct. She's no longer, because she just brushed up against Pisces, and now she's here to stay. So this is our collective consciousness. This is our celebration. This is the announcement. You're back. You are back. You are the one. So that's the pole shift. That's the real definition of the pole shift, going from the Piscean Age into the Arian Age. And the Arian Age is your head, your consciousness. So what's happening in the sky? Second thing I want to talk about what's happening in the sky, Vesta of the Vestal Virgins is in retrograde, heading towards Orion's belt. Orion's belt is leadership, right? Orion, and there's the dog star, Sirius, the spiritual you. So what does Vesta do when she goes back across here? She's looking for leaders, the leaders of the pure. What are we doing? We're studying being pure. We're going to walk the talk, right? Not walk the walk, talk the talk. I'll get that in a second. So that's what Vesta. Vesta's looking for those pure people, because that's Vesta of the Vestal Virgins. We're pure. Goodbye, Pisces. Hello, Aries. I'm going to talk about Juno in the next slide, because we talked about that, because Mary goes direct and then Juno goes retrograde in the next couple days. But what's important is Saturn, Father Time, is with Fomalhaut. That's the self-forgiveness gate. And I told you how a sister did that process, and she immediately released that heaviness that was on her. Now is a really, really good time to sit down and ask for forgiveness to anybody that ever made you feel not good, because it's your waters that is attracting that. Because you remember, the light shines through the clear waters. It won't shine through the muddy waters, and that's the resistance. So it's really important right now, these next few days, while the Marys do the dance, everything that happens to you, every memory that comes up, ask for forgiveness. Do that 5-step process. It's what it's about. This is the baptismal waters. But further to that, we do have the new moon on January 11th. At the same time as the both Marys do the dance. So the new moon on January 11th will be rising with the sun at sunrise for the east coast of Canada. So they'll be feeling something there, because that's the way it works, because the cardinal points is what lights us up. So those people are going to get some great signs when the cardinal point is there. So they'll feel it more, some certain things, depending what's in their chart. So Eris goes direct. Last time she's bumped up against the Pisces and gone forward. All right. And this is you. This is the divine feminine of you. This is your corona chakra. That's what she represents. That vibration is in your head. And of course, we talked about Juno's going to go retrograde. I wanted to add it in here, but I didn't go get a look, but I'm sure anybody can go find it. One of our brothers there, Raymond, he mentioned to me, he says, Claudio, I watched your video on Wednesday, and he says, did you know that the UK is now giving vaccines out because they're expecting a rise in shingles? So remember, what did JP Morgan say? Millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do. But that's the last thing you want to do is try to go make money off of this, because that'd be not using your wings, and we're supposed to be coming out of that. So these Marys are dancing. Do you remember the tornado in The Wizard of Oz? Do you remember that? This is Eris, the black one, the pure one. She's trying to go after Dorothy. There's a tornado. So this whole story here about Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, somebody knew, like the Celestine prophecies, they knew, and so they put it in an esoteric hidden format because people are against that. It's paganism, it's all kinds of babble words you want to throw against that. So they're trying to show you that story. But here's the thing, as the two Marys are dancing right now, yesterday, there were tornadoes all throughout Florida and Georgia, and the wind's really picking up. She's saying she's home. She's making her announcement. So there's an announcement. It's the announcement, like you guys all said, I'm back. I'm the one. I'm the announcement, like many of you said. You're absolutely right. You are the one that dies on the cross. You are the one that rebirths. So every one of you said something beautiful. And for those of you who don't know, this is Marian's birthday today. Happy birthday, Marian. Marian's birthday is right around the time when Mama puts her foot down and demands love. And the whole world is going to share. We become one with all beings. So please join me in wishing Marian, a happy birthday. And happy birthday to anybody else out there. So from Sister Fam 5, I'd like to share a comment that she shared last week about the walk, talk the talk. You see, she's deaf. And she shared some interesting wisdom that I need to let in. She said, love this. I used to sign walk the talk. Because remember, we said walk the walk, talk the talk. But they can't do that. So she said, deaf people are tactile and visual. We actually need our actions to match what we are talking about. And when I started sharing about all things esoteric, I knew I had to put into action to help my people understand and truly walk the talk based on truth, because it's completely silent, the truth. So I told her, thanks for sharing that beautiful wisdom, walk the talk. I get it now. Forgive me for not seeing. You see, they're the closest thing to the Egyptian walls. How do you leave this esoteric message somewhere? This unseen, beautiful, tethered love that we're tethered to. How do you leave that message without somebody taking it literal? Which we have. We've taken the Egyptian walls as literal. But when she put this, it just went click. Wow. She's got to put it into images, what she really means. And that's tough. How do you talk about something that you can't see, that's pure love, that you're tethered to, and that you're the one? Try it sometime. All right. Susan, she brought up a synchronicity with the story in the Bible about Jacob and wrestling with the angel. So I'll just read this really quick. Oh my God, Claudio, I know you're at Unity now with the stone ceremony, which I wanted to attend. But the guest speaker here is talking about renaming, like the story of Jacob when he wrestled with the angel. Well, this story too is from the Egyptian walls. So this is a story about Horus and Set, right? The sunrise and the sunset. The hawk that flies during the day in the sky above the earth, and the aardvark is Set. That he's nocturnal. The aardvark is nocturnal. He's out at night, and he lives underground. So that's why they use the anima, because they give us the signs. They show us what we need to see, because they're our guidance, they're our soul guides. So these stories are all from the Egyptian walls, and it's us. The story of Jacob fighting with the angel is us fighting with that. If we're going to live, if we're going to die, what happens to us? That's our internal fight. And that's what strangles us and stops us. You can see the stranglement looks like a heart there, right? And like a spine. And what's this up here? It's the Shen. It's the rebirth symbol, right? Stopping that rebirth because you don't know. So if you remember, Set chopped Osiris into 14 pieces. Well, that's half a moon age. Everything's related to astrology because of the cycle in the stars, because that's who we are. So listen to what wise brother Abdel Hakim Awayan has to say about Seth, which is Set. From the movie Pyramid Code. Seth, or Set, the night, takes Osiris, puts him in the ocean, the waters. The ocean takes him to Phoenicia, and the roots of a cedar tree capture his coffin. Found by Isis, she cries. A tear touches his body, and they live together again for a short while to make a baby named Horus. So he says Dija was Osiris. Jed we still use to address older people. So he's talking about the cycle, folks. He's talking about that cycle. So the narrator comes in this movie and he says, Isis is connected to Sirius and Osiris to Orion. Well, yeah, absolutely. The mother, the star, and Orion, Osiris, the one that's in manifest, the one that's an attribute of the principle. We do know that when she aligns with us, the River Nile flooding, that happens near a phoenix rising. So all these beautiful signs, they're happening in the heavens. Thought I'd share this with you to show you that we are on a huge, huge, huge cycle. From Old World and Hidden Truth, Sean Wings. This is the Balochistan Sphinx, which is located in what we now call the Hingol National Park in Balochistan, Pakistan. Thousands of years old, possibly predating known ancient civilizations. You see the Sphinx? You see all these patterns, all these niches? This used to be an old temple. It's probably 26,000 years old. Who knows? It's going to be one of the ages anyway. That's what I'm finding. And they place them where the ages are going to be. There's no they. It's us. We did it. We keep doing it to remind us who we are. So we get to that now, that announcement telling ourselves that I am the one. It's me. Holy smoke, it's me. What do I do now? So hello, McFly. We have a 26,000 year cycle. What do you think? So we're infinite. What can we learn from Brother Ken Wheeler today? Let's talk about physics behind being pure love, which is synonymous with being coherent laser. So pure love and a coherent laser. He goes, this brownish rock, this red laser right on it, it does not take up attribution of anything that comes into contact with it. So a red light on a brown rock is still red. If you shine this red laser anywhere on any color, like I've done here, a red laser on any color will become red. White light of the sun will make the red shine red, the orange shine orange, the yellow shine, and so on and so forth. So when we're pure, we don't take up that karmic, those waves, you don't feel them anymore. That's just like the immortal waters. Has anybody got any questions on that? This is where there's no such thing as a not good spirit, because you can't be felt. The laser does not care what color it is. It still shines its light. And you can only be pure, because a laser, when they call it coherent light. So when you got to think about the infinite black light, and don't forget what those stars are. Those are point source, just like lasers. Those aren't billions and billions of light years away. They're in the firmament right over our head. Speaking on Ken, he talks more about that video about consciousness. So conscientia. The term consciousness comes from the Latin word conscientia, which means knowledge within oneself. The prefix con means together, and scientia means knowledge. See, the word science is there, right? Physics. Scientia is a Latin word that translates directly with wisdom. So you're with wisdom, conscientia. Over time, especially with the advent of scientific revolution, scientia became more associated closely with this systematic inquiry and the structured pursuit of knowledge about the natural world. This is closer to the modern concept of science, but don't forget, science became attached to the physical. Quantum, they always look for a particle. They're looking for the physical. That's why there's still theories, because they deny the ether, they deny love, they deny spirit in their calculations. But you even see some of the people that study quantum, they're starting to say, we think spirit's involved here. So there's another announcement. Science, like one of us said, we can't wait till science and spirit starts talking when that announcement's coming. I think Kat was the one that said it. Well, they're already saying it. They're out there saying it. I'm sure you've heard it. So roots in ancient wisdom. Ciencia might be viewed as encompassing not just empirical knowledge, but also intuitive understanding and the wisdom derived from exploring the deeper aspects of reality. This includes exploration of metaphysical concepts like the ether, magnetism, the nature of consciousness itself. Wisdom means self-proximity. So the more you know that you are the one, that means self-proximity, but not the physical body. The physical body is attached to it. Don't get attached or stay attached to that physical body, because that's not you. You're the one that keeps coming back. You're the one that's attached to pure love. That's the infinite, beautiful child within you. So Ken Wheeler, I'm not sure if you guys seen this post on cholesterol and statins linked to Alzheimer's and dementia. So AI agrees with Ken's logic on cholesterol, the fat that's up here. The statins, they remove that good fat and it causes dementia. So again, AI agrees. So I'm asking for a year/decade when they notice the increase we spoke about. So AI says in 1990s to the 2000s, many studies point to these decades as a time when the prevalence of and incidence of dementia, including Alzheimer's, begin to be more widely recognized and diagnosed. I said, when was the first cholesterol reducing pill first introduced? Oh, look at that. 1987. 1987 introduced. 1990s to 2000 is when we got most Alzheimer's. Look, it's in your chart that it's going to happen, but when you don't believe in you, you go. And then you're going to come back. Because you don't realize that you're the one. You're not announcing to yourself that you're the one. I don't need to go get that. I don't need to go take a pill to get better for my cholesterol. There's all kinds of European scientists that have already poo-pooed that their test is not real. So the Bible is from Egypt. Let's talk about annunciation in the Bible. This is how John the Baptist was born. Wait, okay, so just think about the analogy and the similarity between John the Baptist, which we know is Aquarius, and Jesus. So John the Baptist's birth foretold. The angel said to him, I am Gabriel. I stand in the presence of God, and I've been sent to speak to you and tell you that this good news. And now you will be silent and not speak until the day this happens, because you did not believe my words, which will come true at their appointed time. So annunciation means virgins, nun, announcement of an Immaculate Conception. But wait a minute, this is the same story as Jesus and Mary. Instead, this time it's with Gabriel and Zechariah and his wife Elizabeth instead of Mary and Joseph. This is the cycle that's on the Egyptian walls, folks. They're showing you the cycle in the Bible, which is on the Egyptian walls, which is the zodiac. The cycle of you're the one. Today, I'm announcing that you're the one. So if you're waiting for that announcement, you're hearing it today. I know many of you already know it because you said it when we went around the room. So this is about the age of Aquarius. That's what Luke 1:19 is about. So quickly, at the beginning of the chapter, you find Theophilus. What does that mean? Theophilus. If you're interested in the Sanskrit or Prakrit word for God in Sanskrit, one of the words of God is Diva. So I thought I'd share that because Eva, Eve, that's another word for Mary. Theo indeed means God in Greek, and Philos means friend or lover, which boils down to friend, lover. It's an Immaculate Conception. So they're talking about that. And then I am Gabriel. Gabriel is the Monday, is the moon day, is the moon. Many people will tell you that. Tanzu is the moon's south node, represents the moon as the all-seeing eye of the night. Isis, moon. I'm going to show you something in a second. And the temple of Kanzu has the baboon, i.e. eclipses. Why am I telling you this? Because the relationship with Egypt And all the misinterpretation leads back to the cycle of Mary and the baby. Ra and Kanzu is Rahu and Ketu, the north node and the south node. They're showing you all this stuff, all realizes in that cycle, telling you that you're the infinite one. What happens? These are the north and south node that eclipses the sun and the moon, which we're going to be having again, right? It's important for us to understand this. Do you know which anima screams at an eclipse? It's a baboon. At the temple of Kansu is a baboon. So all this is all fitting. All this stuff in the Bible, these beautiful writings, misinterpreted somewhat, is an announcement. We left this, you left this as a message to yourself to remember that you are the one. All the animals show us the divine cycle. They are announcing this cycle. And I won't go over this, but on November 23rd, we showed you the scene on the Egyptian walls of an Immaculate Conception between the Bible and Gerard Massey's findings, right? I'll just zoom in on this just so people, in case they want to read it again. The book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 26, and what Gerald Massey shows you about this scene on the walls is all about, you see, she's pregnant, right? It's about the Immaculate Conception, natural Genesis. Okay, quickly, sprays of water letters to Mary. It's all over. I'm going to go through this really quickly. I'm not going to read it, but lilies are about from the muddy waters, up comes through the waters, and then blossoms over top of the waters. That's why the Egyptians used lilies, all right? Presenting lilies to the gods and goddesses. Part of the Immaculate Conception scene. Leonardo da Vinci shows lilies. See the lilies? There's Gabriel. So Annunciation from Leonardo da Vinci. So Gabriel is presenting lilies to Mother Mary, just like the Egyptian walls. Again, this is Immaculate Conception. So it's just you. Here's one from Esse Ancilla Domini, Dante Gabriel Rossetti. Same thing. He is presenting lilies to Mary, Immaculate Conception. They're just showing you that it's the natural cycle in Mother Nature that does this. And now, just one extra one from the Buddhist version of the Annunciation. Maya dreams of a six-tusked elephant that descends from heaven to enter her womb. This miraculous conception marks the Buddha's Sakyamuni's final rebirth. You got Amun-Ra in there, right? The final rebirth and physical entrance into this world. So they show the elephant going to enter Maya, Mary. This is also their portion of the Immaculate Conception. So just to center ourselves, after hearing all this babble, just picture this beautiful scenery. Because this is where we're going. We're going to this beautiful, peaceful place, these calm shores. We have to imagine this as often as we can while we're cleansing our waves of the past, because I still have them. But I keep asking for forgiveness for them. It's the way to do it. And that's all we have for today.